Just Google 10 worst cities to live in Maryland, and Hagerstown invariably comes up on the list. Recently, Road Snacks ranked Hagerstown 4th worst city to live in Maryland. What do you think, Tom? Is Hagerstown really a bad place to live in?
Well, you know, the funny thing is, I read the article, and I read through the whole list, 191 of them. Number 1 is Four Corners, Maryland, right outside of Silver Spring. 3.5 years ago, I moved from there to here. So you might guess what I might think about this. You know, it seems to me—
You got yourself an upgrade.
You're moving up on the list.
I'm moving up on the list. You know,
moving up 3 positions.
I don't live in Hagerstown, I live in South County, but I live here. And also, you know, I went on a trip. My sister moved to Arizona. My family, we drove from here to Arizona through Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, came back the southern way through southern Texas, Mississippi. I was very happy to be here and back home. And I'll tell you, it's all relative, because what I saw on that trip, Maryland looks pretty nice to me, and Hagerstown looks great.
Yeah, so I don't think, you know, they said it was a scientific study at the top of the article, and then at the bottom of the article they said it was opinion. Yeah. And I don't think there was, in my opinion, there wasn't much science to it.
What the hell is Road Snacks?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
it's
exactly,
Road Snacks.
Exactly. But you know, here's my thing. And does Hagerstown have its problems? Yes, we do. Does Washington County have its problems? Yes, we do. But you know, you look at just, forget about the businesses and anything else. Just look at the people, the majority of the people here, and the way we give back to the community, the way we gather together as a community to solve problems. I'm okay with that. If this is the 4th worst place to live in Maryland, I'm there.
Well, let's talk about our education system. We have a great education system. We have a great superintendent of Washington County Public Schools, and I believe he's been doing some really innovative, pushing some innovative ideas, especially with technology. And I think that raising a student in Washington County Public Schools, they're going to graduate high school with a tremendous advantage over many other students, because we have a great curriculum. And I was born and raised in Hagerstown. It's my home, and I love it. You look at the many amenities that it provides, the culture of people, I think they're fantastic. And you see these studies on the internet, and people read these, and then what really bothers me is that I see my friend sharing it, and they're like, oh yeah, Hagerstown is so terrible. It's not terrible at all.
You know, you bring up the education system in this area, and I think one thing that people in this area are sorely educated on is search engine optimization, because at the end of the day, when you're talking about the great wide world that is the internet, and you type in Hagerstown, Maryland, who's actually putting active, dynamic, awesome content that highlights all of the tremendous amenities that Hagerstown has to offer? Who's putting it out there? Are they putting it out there wisely? Or are places like Road Snacks able to put Hagerstown in a Google search at the top of the list simply because they're able to put out a better quality web release? I think that what our biggest problem right now in Hagerstown, because I agree with you, I agree with all three of you, Hagerstown is a tremendous place to live in. It's my chosen place to live in. I think what we need to do now is focus on combining everyone's efforts. The City of Hagerstown, the county commissioners, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, all of these essential nonprofits that we have, particularly concentrated in downtown Hagerstown. Get them together and put together a cohesive marketing campaign to show people just how awesome Hagerstown is, and not have a number of chiefs and not enough Indians, because at the end of the day, there are plenty of chiefs that are putting bad crap out about Hagerstown on the internet.
No, I was interested to learn when I moved here. National Geographic some years ago said Pleasant Valley in this county, not far from here, was one of the 20 most beautiful valleys, in their opinion, in the United States. You know, I have visitors all the time up at the museum where I work, and I tell them Washington County has more state and national parks than any county in the United States. We do have a lot of amenities. I think there's a lot going for us. I think there's been some lack of vision maybe in recent years economically and how we can use some of this stuff to drive that. Because they're doing very well. I remember there was a recent article about the real uptick in like hotel stays and whatnot.
But we've
Washington
never
County.
had a problem filling hotel rooms in
Never.
Washington
But
County.
it's even better.
Not in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And you know, I know that Tom Reifert, in his role as CEO of the Convention and Visitors Bureau,
One of the best.
there were
assets
those who
Washington
loved
County
him. There
has.
were those who didn't love him. I was on the love him side,
Absolutely.
and I
You
was
either
very,
like them or don't.
you know, I was very, you know, and Tom could sit here and tell you every first in Washington County that ever happened here.
Yeah.
And I would tell you that list continues. And just things like the solar farm we have out by the prisons and some other things that have happened or are going to
How
happen.
about one of the most major medical marijuana distribution centers?
Well, if that
Washington
Well, then there's
County
that.
might
Right
be
here.
the one.
Then there's that.
we
Well,
can have that
We're
right
innovative.
here.
I like that
here.
idea. I think it would bring a new onslaught of jobs into our community. But again, when you have our legislators at the top that are, one of them particularly is pushing hard against it, with, in my opinion, with little logic. I'd love to have it here because it would bring some new jobs to the area, and I fundamentally support the medical marijuana idea. But more than that, I mean, Hagerstown, the city of Hagerstown itself, it's coming along. You had the downtown initiative. They're doing a great job.
But you know what? I think that
The downtown movement.
Yeah.
right?
I think that getting to downtown for a minute, I think that the grassroots kind of things that that are happening in downtown are going to do as much. There, you know, we have, with all due respect, Ashley, and I know you were a former city councilwoman,
Hey.
but we have had our share
My
of
15 minutes of something.
we have
No, it's
had
good.
our share of council people that have been naysayers and have not done, in my opinion, what needed to be done to facilitate the growth. But I think the grassroots type of things that are happening, like a pop-up shops and some of those other efforts, I think they're going to push council to the point where they're
You're-
going to have to
You're
do
dead
something.
on. You're dead on, and I can tell you as a downtown merchant that 50% of what I do throughout my day is collaborate with other downtown merchants on how to make events and promotions successful for everyone and programs successful for everyone, particularly with my work with the Pumpkin Theater out of Baltimore, who are going to be hosting children's theater programs in my ballroom starting in the fall. For them to see Hagerstown as a town formerly, like, oh my gosh, where is Hagerstown? Oh, you have a prison, right? And then to discover the Discovery Station and the Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Barbara Ingram School for the Arts and all of these incredible
Sons.
organizations that are willing to collaborate with them to ensure success. This is an astounding thing. We have a lot of resources in Hagerstown, and I couldn't disagree more with road snacks. But
what did Mayor Geisbert say at his State of the City address? Stop hating. And some people got on the mayor about that statement, but I think it's true. They are doing the best at what we have. They're putting new ideas. We often talk about how can we be the next Frederick. Well, that's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. I think that we have an opportunity to expand the downtown area business-wise. I like going downtown. I enjoy going to the restaurants. My friend Jay owns 28 South. It's a great place to go among friends. They're putting new shops involved, and I think that with a little bit of charisma, and a lot of ingenuity and entrepreneurship, we have to focus. There has to be a process to which we get people downtown and continue to expand it. We're never going to be Frederick, but we have an opportunity to have our own identity.
Well, number one, and thank you to our producer, because I just got the signal that we're allowed to have another minute or so on this topic. But I don't think we are going to be Frederick. I hope we're better than Frederick, quite frankly. There are
historically, we have to.
Absolutely, no question about it. So let's let that history repeat itself. But again, there are things that we can do. I am, with all due respect, not a fan of this current city council.
Okay.
I think that the former city council, in my opinion, was much more collaborative, especially with respect to city-county relations, in my opinion. And I think, I hope that going forward we will get back to that.
Which leads me to a, I guess, updated phrase from Mayor Geisberts. You know, Mayor Geisberts caught some flack for saying people need to stop being haters, but what I would rather say is haters be learners. We have a lot of things to learn from previous administrations, and we have a lot of things to learn from people that have been busting their butts in downtown for years and years and years and forming great cooperative efforts.
But you know, we're at a turning point in some respects. We've got, and I know we've got an election coming up for City Council next year. We've got two essentially new high-level positions that have turned over: John Lestitian's position and the city manager. City Administrator Bruce Zimmerman's position.
People wouldn't realize how big of a pair of shoes they have to fill.
Exactly.
In that job.
Yeah, they will.
We've got the economic development at the county level that just recently changed hands, and we're waiting to see how that works. So, and I hope it works well, but I hope if it doesn't work well, that our governments understand that and are ready to make whatever changes are necessary to get us and keep us on track.
Well, let's switch gears here, because I feel like this table could talk about the development of the city of Hagerstown for several episodes. Let's talk about web addicts. Is this really such a thing? Jim Miller will lead a discussion about this in just a couple minutes.